This might be one of the stranger reviews that I've done. Not because of the product itself, that's not inherently strange, but because I'm sort of reviewing two different products at once. And no, I don't mean these two different sets of headphones, although I will be talking about their differences. No, I mean the IEMs and the cable. This is the Antlion Kimura, and it comes in 3 flavours. Technically 4, but we'll forget about that one. Cable only, cable plus the single driver Solo IEMs, or cable plus the dual driver Duo IEMs. Regardless of which option you get, you are in for a pretty good treat. Antlion, the company that makes the much loved mod mic, decided they wanted to let people who use IEMs, or in-ear monitors for the uninitiated, have a good quality mic to use too. Enter the Kimura, a cable that you can attach to your existing IEMs to add a good quality mic pretty seamlessly. Your existing IEMs will have to have an MMCX or 2-pin connector already, but assuming they do, you can just snap your in-ears onto this cable and enjoy the exact same listening experience that you undoubtedly love, but now have a quality mic attached as well. You'll be hearing the Kimura mic throughout the video, so I'll let you make up your mind on your own about it, but do let me know what you think in the comments down below. In short, the mic is a flexible boom arm style that by default attaches to the right hand side IEM, although since they have removable connectors you can just switch them round to the other side if you would fancy it over here instead. It's pretty easy to position and place as close to your mouth as you can for the best quality, and doesn't add that much weight either. It especially helps that the cables have sort of strain relief around your ear, so again, you really don't notice it. The IEMs that are attached, either the Solo or Duos, are visually stunning. They're made from pretty clear plastic with either a red or blue tint on the outer face, topped by a gold Antlion logo. You can clearly see the driver package inside and the tube that's feeding out to the fairly large diameter sort of earpiece, if you like. You get 3 sets of other tips in the box, by the way, one of which is a foam tip. As for the difference between these Solos and the Duos, it's pretty much in the name. The Solos use a single dynamic driver capable of reproducing anywhere between 10 and 20 kHz, whereas the Duos use both a dynamic driver and a balanced armature which jumps the frequency response up to 30 kHz at the top end. It does also increase the impedance from 8 to 24 ohms, but that's still pretty low, allowing almost anything to drive these relatively comfortably. When it comes to the listening quality, the Duos in particular have pretty amazing clarity, especially on the high end. Vocals sound amazingly crisp and clear, and even at higher volumes, they retain that refined quality that you don't often get with your everyday in-ears. The only catch is that their low-end performance, the bass, well, it's pretty obviously lacking. It's not just a flat response, it feels like the bass is actively missing, and more importantly, that it's more like a sort of progressive line throughout the curve. If you do have access to an EQ, pumping up the low end can bring that back a little, and actually bringing the highs down a little bit can also even it out a little as well. Although, you can be pretty certain that you won't be enjoying much EDM or drum and bass on these for sure. The Solos share a pretty similar experience, although I feel that they are lacking a touch of that refined, crisp sound that the Duos offer. For gaming, they came across as a bit tinny. The Solos were a slightly better experience as they had a bit more of a full sound to them, although it is worth noting that some of that quality may come down to the impedance, as like I said, the Solos are 8 ohms versus 24 for the Duos, and the fact that I was using onboard, the sort of motherboard's onboard audio, which is a pretty mid-range board at best. With an external amp and DAC, it is a little bit better, but still everything from gunshots to footsteps felt almost piercingly sharp and high-pitched. The Duos ended up being worse for that. Every sound had its high frequencies boosted to the point of discomfort. Again, with a higher end amp, this effect is lessened, but it's still not exactly a balanced sound. One catch, for me anyway, is the large diameter of the ear tips, which mean I can't wear these for more than about an hour. Especially the right earpiece, it feels like my ear is getting bruised as I'm forcing it in, and it's not great. And if I wear them for too long, I have to take them out and wait a few hours to sort of recover before I can wear them again. That is obviously a problem since most gaming sessions tend to be a bit longer than an hour. The fact that the IEMs came with a sort of semi-molded shape to them means that there's likely to be a percentage of people who won't be able to comfortably wear these due to how differently people's ears and ear canals are. My wife, for example, can't wear IEMs at all, although I'm normally fine with them, so this seems like a bit of an outlier. Also, because of the diameter, even the slightly smaller ear tip that comes in the box isn't actually that much smaller, so again, it's not quite perfect for me. And one minor thing I thought I should add is the practicality of taking them on and off your ears, and especially putting them in the sort of hard carry cases that come in the box. The magic of the Kimura cable is that the section that goes around your ear isn't just molded rubber like you would normally find. Instead, it's a positionable support that can bend to the shape of your ears and hold on relatively tightly, making them remarkably secure. The trouble with that is that if you try to put the IEMs in your ears, you almost have to bend the support out of shape and then bend it back again once you put the earpiece in. That is a bit of a faff, but honestly what's worse is trying to put them back in the case, because there is no way for you to fit them in the case without bending them quite considerably, and then when you do take them out of the case you have to fully reshape them again before then putting them back in your ear and doing the final tweaks for each ear every time you take them in and out of the case. Now, that's not a massive problem. Obviously, this is generally a more sort of at-home style anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But it was something that a bit of a usage experience I encountered that I thought I should mention. The other thing I feel like I should mention is the reason why I have both the Solos and Duos here. I was originally only sent the Duos, but quickly found that the right side MMCX connector on the cable side was faulty or a little bit loose, causing pretty much any motion of my head to fully disconnect that IEM, causing a lack of sound or intermittent output. Now, Antlion were very quick to send out a replacement, in this case the Solos, which work perfectly, and asked a set of sort of troubleshooting questions, so, and I quote, "We know where to focus our QC." That is the perfect response, and I genuinely believe they mean that. For the Kimura Solos and Duos, while they are certainly a very premium quality and high-end sound, I'm not sure that they have the right balance of frequencies, at least for my ears. You very well may have a different opinion though, and so may want to consider picking up a pair. The Solos come in at £100, and the Duos are £165 instead. If you were to pick up a pair, I would probably argue that the Solos are likely the better overall experience, especially if you're planning on using them for gaming. I would only buy the Duos if you know that you're going to be plugged into a decent amp whenever you're using them. As for the Kimura cable, well, you've heard the mic throughout the video. To me, it's a pretty decent sort of headset mic. It's not quite what I would call broadcast quality, but it's a damn sight better than the sort of standard in-ear mics or Bluetooth headphone mics. The only lingering question I have about the cable-only option is almost its use case. I can imagine most people who still use wired IEMs on a regular basis tend to wear them both out of the house and while at home. I'm not sure that I would want a boomer mic attached to my face while I'm, out and about. I'm taking the bus to work or whatever. Still, I mean, if you fancy adding a decent mic to your existing IEMs, you can pick up the Kimura cable for £70. All in all, I definitely like these. The cable itself, I think, makes for a great shout if you do want to add a decent mic to your existing IEMs. For the IEMs that, the Kimura Solos and Duos, I feel like they might need a slight revision in terms of that sort of profile to bring the bass up a little and honestly bring the highs down a little just to flatten it out. Because especially for gaming and especially connected to the motherboard PC, the motherboard audio, it really wasn't the nicest experience for me to game with them. I ended up missing a few things like footsteps because it was all so high pitched that I just couldn't distinguish it very well. So yeah, I would say they're definitely decent. They're a pretty nice music listening experience and content listening experience, if again, a little lacking in the bass. But for gaming, they're probably not quite for me. And again, for the comfort side, again, not quite for me as well. But yeah, overall, not too bad. If you do want to pick them up, I'll leave some links to them in the description down below. If you want to see more videos from me, you can check out the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon, and check out plenty of other videos on the end cards as well. There's a whole load of other audio reviews and general tech reviews, so feel free to take a look. If you want to support the channel and keep me making these videos, then of course you can check out the links in the description. You can support through YouTube or Patreon, pick up a hoodie or a t-shirt like this one, or there's a load of other stuff that you can check out in the description, so feel free to do so. Otherwise, that's kind of it. Also, you've heard my thoughts on the Kimuras. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.